I think that we are reaching a very important milestone in the infrastructure renewal journey of the Muhammadu Buhari administration. And from the very difficult early days of planning, assessing what was on ground in 2015 to a roadmap of implementation, I think the signs of completion are now beginning to emerge. So these are the first shoots, if you like, of the harvest of completion that we propose to herald as the administration enters the second phase of the second term on its way out. So you've heard from the state government, admirably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Works, standing in for the Governor of Cross Rivers. You heard from the local community. You heard from the local government chairman and how pleased they are. And as far as renewal goes, it is instructive that right behind me here is the old bridge, and that is about 6 decades, if not older. So this is a very strategic infrastructure to take Nigeria to the future for many more decades, to facilitate relationships with our brothers and sisters in Cameroon, and to strengthen the bond of relationships that exist between the two nations. And this is, incidentally, I must say, a joint development by the Republic of Cameroon and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it's not our show alone. Actually, the Minister for Works for Cameroon and I planned this visit together, but at the very last minute, some other urgent matters came up for him. So we'll come back here again, but I have to go to another solely Nigerian project from here, so I had to continue the trip on my own.
Thank you.
So what's the volume of trade we're expecting?
Now that you know that we have had a very, very strong relationship with the Republic of Cameroon in terms of trade and business. And if you go to Aba, for example, I can tell you that Enugu, for example, Abakaliki, this is the route that facilitates trade, agro-produce, merchandise, manufactured goods from Aba in Abia State. So you can only expect that that will improve with joint border patrols now, more security, much more efficiency, which you saw from the first buildings. That's the format of what integration of ECOWAS and sister nations on the African continent should look like. Nigeria is now a signatory to the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. So this is infrastructure that positions both nations to take the benefit of the free trade that agreement heralds. So it's really exciting looking to the future, and you can only see more business and more trade and employment for people.
Thank you very much.
Apart from this, is there any way to recoup the money spent on this road?
You see, these are social assets, and we must understand that the recoupment, if you like that word, is the happiness and the prosperity of the people of Nigeria. As far as I'm concerned, with the happiness of the community leader, the government of Cross River, and the local government chairman, this project has paid for itself. The prosperity of our people is the reason why President Buhari is pushing this infrastructure renewal. So as long as our people are happy, they can travel easily, they can reduce their journey time, save time on the road, and if you save time, you save money, then we are happy. I'm sure the president is delighted. Objectives of this administration is to expand, renew, and upgrade the quality of Nigeria's infrastructure. And that is going on, whether it's rail, whether it's airports, whether it's broadband, whether it's seaport, and roads and bridges. You will also have heard me say that in the same way that the president has mandated us to maintain and protect old bridges, we're building new ones. So we've been to one bridge where you've seen an old bridge and you've seen a new one. And we are here now, and that was in the bridge linking Nigeria and Cameroon from Umfum to Bamenda. Now this bridge we're standing on is the new Econ Bridge. Now it's interesting also that that road we came from is a land crossing for international trade. What this bridge does is to facilitate international trade through the sea. The old bridge, which is behind me, the steel bridge, has a very low headroom. And for that reason, some of the big cargo, big vessels, big trucks cannot evacuate the Calabar port. And you will see in some places that there has been damage to some of the headroom as a result of impact by trucks. So this bridge solves that problem. So you will expect to see more trade, more shipments coming to Calabar now, because this is the A4 axis from Calabar to Maiduguri, through Ogoja to Kasinala. So you will expect to see more trade now, volumes through the sea. And it is no accident that Cross River bears his name. There's actually a river that names the state. And that river opens to the sea and to the Gulf of Guinea for high impact international trade. Again, so it's not just infrastructure for the sake of infrastructure. It's infrastructure consistent with the Buhari Economic Recovery and Growth Plan to increase trade, improve the ease of doing business. So some of the trucks that couldn't pass this place or that passed this place with discomfort can now drive through. And for those who still have any doubts, the first bridge we went to is by an African Development Bank loan. So those who don't like loans should tell us whether we should remove that bridge. And this one we are standing on was largely funded by the Sukuk. So you see what government is doing with the money it has raised. And as I said earlier, we started from a season of planning. We went into a season of implementation when people were asking, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? But we are now entering the season of completion. So my job with that of my team is to come and see how far our contractors have gone. And in the fullness of time, I think maybe Cross River State will be playing host to Mr. President to come and officially hand over these assets. But let's see what happens.
So we also want you to react to the fact that people will be concerned about preservation of the old bridges. Because for me, I look at it as, something that I can take into the museum.
You don't take them to the museum. What you actually do now, that once there is less pressure on that bridge, we can close it down. His team will take over and advise us how to do. Incidentally, this is made of almost similar material as the old Niger bridge. So it might interest you to know that we are still maintaining that bridge. So we will keep this one and the Cameroon Link Bridge also under maintenance, I assure you. So what we expect is that at least the parliamentarians from this constituency will favorably respond to our proposals for bridge maintenance when the budget 2021 comes to them. Because those are the tools with which we need to work. Once we have those tools, I think all the contractors and the suppliers are ready to go to work.
Thank you very much.
So we want to thank you so much for the work done so far.
Thank President Buhari, not me.
The president for the projects we've seen so far. But there's a project that
We have 2 contractors there. We are scoping the third part for the third contractor to complete. So our contractors are able and willing, as you see, but we need resources. So it's a funding problem partly. Secondly, and this is a good opportunity to address the point, Cross River really and truly is the lungs of Nigeria. This is Nigeria's rainforest. And it rains in this place for almost 8 months or 9 months of the year. So it's always very difficult to get work done. But our contractors have the experience. The real deal is the cash, really and truly. And let me also use this opportunity to say, along that axis, compensation issues by the communities. So those who want infrastructure must be ready to give some land. We are not taking your land away. We are just asking for the right of way to pass. So when you start making compensation claims that almost equal the cost of construction, where are we going to get the money from? So, as the president has said, this is a trade-off. Those who want investment must offer the land, and the land belongs to the state and the community. So again, thank you for that question. I want to appeal to the communities along Calabar to allow us pass. We will pay reasonable compensation for your crops, but certainly not shrines and all of those things you go and build by the side of the road in order to claim money. The president has said no, that's not our responsibility. So we expect to see more cooperation along this and this is the way forward.
So the Calabar urban road is also, people of this area would like to know what you are doing on that road. It's also a link road still with Cameroon, Calabar urban.
Okay, so I don't have immediate recollection. I don't know everything. So we have over 800 contracts, so I can't remember everything on the road like this. But some of them I remember, but I will check. And you can take the name.
I think it was mentioned.
Okay, Controller is here, so he will know better than me.
Okay, yes.
This is the president's ambassador in this state.
Thank you, sir. Yes, the Calabar Urban Road has already been awarded. Section 1, there are 2 sections. From Calabar to Urban is about 60 kilometers. And it's already been awarded and work has commenced. I don't know how recently you have gone to that site. Work is going on there now. And then between Urban and the Cameroon border, Ekan, because from Calabar to Ekan, the Cameroon border is about 128 kilometers. So 60 has been awarded now. So I'm sure the next one, our Honorable Minister is here.
I'm here. So, and you are here too. First of all, thank you very much for Controller. And that shows you are on top of your game here. So, you are also here. So he has asked you one question. When last did you visit the road? Is it on social media you have been discussing it? So go there now and go and report what you see. All right? So yes?
The impressions.
Impression?
Most Nigerians. Most Nigerians.
How do you know what most Nigerians are thinking? Did you do survey?
So, I mean,
Are you one person is most Nigerians?
No.
We are talk first.
Like you have started, you start. Then they say what they are saying. Most of them are saying that they did like you started. This government is a money borrowing government, but we have owned a lot of money. And then
we are borrowing, right? Ask them. In 2005, this country took $12 billion to go and pay creditors at that time. Many of the roads we are doing now were bad then. Alesi Ugep was bad then. Odupani, it was bad then. Second Niger Bridge was desperately needed then. Lagos Ibadan, you couldn't move on it. Kano Maiduguri needed attention. Sokoto, Tambuwa, Jega, Ilorin, Jeba, all needed attention. This country took $12 billion. Not naira, $1 billion. So multiply it by the hundreds. If we had invested it in this economy, we wouldn't need to borrow. That's my answer to them.
Thank you very much.
And then those who also say that, in addition, tell them that those who say that clearly want infrastructure, they should provide the alternative source of revenue. Do they want us to tax you more? No. This is the way. Do they want us to tax you more? If you look at what the comparative jurisdictions are doing, this we've been following the infrastructure plan in the US. One of the reasons they cut the borrowing down is because it's going to come from taxes. They say, this one is too much. We want the infrastructure, but let's cut it down, because the only way you are going to raise this money is by increasing taxes. So this is public finance. You see, those people who are talking those things, it's home economics they know. They don't know public finance.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Honorable Engineer Dane Osimasu, Minister of Work and Infrastructure. Dane Osimasu, yeah.
All right. Today we have seen so many projects, being inspected by the minister in your jurisdiction, your state. How does it feel?
The state government, ably led by Senator Professor Ben Ayede, is very, very grateful to the President Muhammadu Buhari government, and through the Minister for Works, who has been very, very available, who has been very, very committed. Because one thing, there's a progenitor, there's a conceptualizer, there is an implementer. Fashola is a great implementer because personal commitment drives the process. If you imagine that he was not here, he just come to site to prepare for commissioning. So that's the commitment. And then taking the risk to move across the country, we really appreciate, the government really appreciates. Out of the 11 trunk A road projects, 11 in Cross River State, this is, okay, so, out of the 11 section A road sections that are the property of the federal government, this is the 7th, and adding to that 2 becomes 9. So the government really takes count of all what the federal government has done and is very, very grateful. We really appreciate the government, and we encourage them by ensuring that we make the environment conducive. We provide whatever source of counterpart funds we can do in any way that requires a counterpart funding. And then, like the minister said, talking to the local people, the locals, to ensure that they reduce the cost of compensation. That's what the duty of the state government, especially along the Calabar road. We have handled that, the Ministry of Lands has handled that, and reduced the cost on compensation so that, that will ease construction.
Thank you very much, sir.